Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is I, James L. Seagraves. It is 6:49. It's a late start, but I had other Blood Bash stuff to do this morning. These podcasts shouldn't be nearly as long because there's not nearly as many games going on, but we're going to go straight to it. Week 2 of the playoffs is in the books. Now we're starting to get to where we are talking about serious players are left. The Sweet 16 happened this week in the regular MUSL bracket. The, I don't know how many, I think round of 64 maybe happened in, I think it was 64, happened in the suck bracket. We'll talk about both of those as we get going here. We're going to go over to our lovely weekly results report here. It's a weekly summary. No, it's fantasy recaps. That's what it is. That's right. How can we forget? As we get ready to do it, eventually it's going to load in. This brief internet pause is brought to you by Comcast that I'm paying way too much money for. I even have a Verizon box, but it's at my store. What the hell? The game of the week is apparently a game that nobody played anybody in. Okay, I don't know why that's at the top of the game of the week, but nevertheless, here we go! The game of the week! Prime time! Who was upset because he did not win the coveted Danny Lane Award winner that I personally thought he should have won. Submits no lineup. Going up against the defending champion Eric Minton, who also submitted no lineup. And they ended up being 0-0 because this is a suck bracket and nobody gives two shits. If you do not submit a lineup, you do not get randomized. And thus, this is the result. Somehow, some way, my fantasy league calls this the game of the week, which is hilarious. Nevertheless, I just hope my shit's not too... Here we go. We're going to turn my mic up now. We're blowing the decibels out here, folks. We're hitting red. We're capping. We're doing it all. This game of the week was fucking intense as nobody scored a single goddamn point. Thank you so much, Eric Minturn and Brian Benor. Neither of you win Owner of the Year this year. Anyway, going on to what's probably the real game of the week. The Apache Chiefs, who did win, spoiler alert, the Danny Lane Award winner, which I still disagree with. He's the 2-time Owner of the Year Award winner on that now. We'll talk about that in a minute. But the Apache Chiefs come up huge. They scored 92 points in a meaningless week they didn't even play. They put 110 points up again a week they do play. As I said, golf and balls. Christopher Russell, I hope you enjoyed your $43 winnings from the Super Squares, because unfortunately, that is all you're going to be winning this year in terms of prize money. The Apache Chiefs, led by the no-necked Tyreek Hill with 22.15 points, puts up 110 points in the Sweet 16, puts themselves in the Elite 8. Then we go down to Love Story Jordan's version. I finally said it right. It's the last time I'll be saying it all year, because better bring your A game. Brought the A game, complete with the neck tramp stamped Dak Prescott. I don't know what's going on there with that tattoo, sir. Nevertheless, you tattooed 21.13 points on Jordan Story's ass as you put up 90.04. Love Story ends the run. Seems Bonnie Monahan is always in the Elite 8 or Final 4. This year, she gets sent home in the Sweet 16. But thanks for coming to Jollypalooza. I appreciate it. A hit, man! He cannot be stopped. He wins again. 91.93 points for Rob Shaw. JB's, formerly Albany Empire. They put up 59.03 points. Not a great performance. But you know what? They had to start Zach Moss. So, I mean, that's all there is to it. CJ Stroud, Rashad White, Kyron Williams, DK Metcalf. There's a reason he gets that picture. 27.7 points for him. Great job. That's a season high for sure. Probably a career high for him. And then we go Puka Nakua Matata. This is a former champion. Louis Diana puts up 98.91 points over you Thielen Lucky Punk. Brian David, another perennial playoff owner. Tyreek Hill, I hate this picture. But Tyreek Hill, Alvin Kamara, who not only scored 20.45 points, but also broke a field judge's leg in half. Congratulations for that. I think he got 2 fantasy points for that shit. Nevertheless, Puka Nakua Matata moves on to the Elite 8. And I cannot stop with these Tyreek Hill pictures. He's everywhere. Gives it to me, baby. One half of the Farmer Bowl, not happening. As just here so I don't get fined, the lovable Paul Wallenwine squeezes out a 94.91 victory over Tom Farmer, but he still has a suck bracket, right? Right? He's got 2 teams. We'll see. Nevertheless, Tyreek Hill has no neck, but he does have 22 points up there. So 90.93 points. Tom Farmer loses in the good effort. And then finally, someone who's not Tyreek Hill's pictured here. The other half of the Farmer Bowl, also incomplete. FarmersOnly.com mustard only 50.85 points. Turn this down. I hope you can hear me this whole time. I think you can. Hope I'm not blowing the speakers out in your car either. Anyway, Bleeding Blue Bombers, Pat Provost Sr., T-Law, Trevor Lawrence puts up 19.56 points. Oh, by the way, I would just like to state that love story here started Patrick Mahomes against her own beloved Packers, and he put up 7.5 points, which is horribly ironic. But nevertheless, Bleeding Blue Bombers, led by Trevor Lawrence and Michael Pittman. He also had Ramondre Stevenson, who put up, I think he played 0.45 points. A couple people played him. In fact, FarmersOnly.com did 0.45 points, but he almost led the team this year. Or this week, because he only put up 50.85. Bleeding Blue Bombers squeaks by with a 56.21 point win, which is crazy. Would have lost to virtually everyone else in the playoffs, I think. And then we have the old Tallywhackers staying alive, better than John Travolta. Josh Crampton puts in Dak Prescott in his weird neck tattoo. 82.38 to 74.84. Jason Taylor's season comes to an end until the playoff challenge happens. And then we have this one. I got a text from Kyle Stoker earlier in the day saying, what exactly does Trevor Lawrence need to win? And I'm like, needs a fair amount. Needs either, I think, 4 passing touchdowns, 3 passing touchdowns, and a bunch of yards, or maybe 2 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown. And that's exactly what he got before snapping his ankle. So, you're in trouble. Comes back, thanks to Trevor Lawrence, and beats Honolulu Blues, knocking them out. Paul Brown had a hell of a year. Ended up coming in with a wild card, but was the number 11 seed it would have been, based on record. So congratulations. You're in trouble into the Elite 8. And now we're going to go down to the suck bracket. We're going to not spend as much time on this. Squadrils beat the Crush. Congratulations. Joe Buck yourself. Mike Evans looks like, I don't know what this picture is, but Double C's didn't put him in the lineup. Congratulations. The Wyans beat Rocky Keeling, who did not put a lineup in. Sticks It In, didn't put a lineup in. Digger Phelps dropped 109 points on a ghost squad. Thank you to both of you guys here. Football is life. Tom Farmer, who is now officially eliminated, both teams losing. Brady's Balls, 111 points. Corey Brewer moves on to the next round. My ball, Zach Ertz, defeats Larry Weinberg's team, who didn't submit a lineup. Concussion Protocol did not. Garrity's Gigolos moves on. Keep in mind, for the most part, if you win this week, you're going to be playing someone who does submit a lineup. Coming from behind, decided, whatever. He had a long shift at Menards. He's got to take care of all those minions there. And then you're also probably putting in windows somewhere. Nevertheless, Patriots, Brock Purdy doesn't even look like a real NFL player. Looks like a child in a second-grade photograph. But he's a big-time baller. 67.73 points for Brock Purdy's Patriots. 22 of them. I don't know why Sam Laporta is wearing the Temu version of the fucking Lions jersey in this photo. It's just like I bought one of these at Walmart in the clearance rack because it was misprinted, didn't have a logo, didn't have a number, didn't have a name. It's a blue shirt, but it does have the NFL shield as the mad scientist beats GBC in an effort that they didn't feel like putting a lineup in. Dak Prescott, again, BVC over Do You Even Swift, bro? Do you even submit a lineup, bro? No, you do not. The Cheat Skis. Nick Harris had a big week. $43 from the squares, spoiler alert, as well as 85 points in the suck bracket game. Providence Power did submit a lineup and lost. That's how bad of a loser I am. The Donkey Punchers. Debo Samuel looks like he just murdered his whole family and is smiling. And then there's this guy again. Nobody apparently started Tyreek Hill in the regular season, by the way, because he's been pictured a lot this week. Marlin Incorporated sends Young Bubba's players to the home. And then Brady's back up again. Tyreek Hill over Nasty Nutria. Thank you, Sarah Krasinski, for not submitting a lineup. You're the best. Steel City Sackers did and knocked in Mama G back into retirement. 69.54. Sam Howell, I'm pretty sure, is on my dad's website. He bought 2 boxes of Jack Links. What he looks like. He's fucking with Sasquatch, and he's fucking putting up 15.59 points in the NFL, all in a weekend's work, folks. And then we have, oh my God, Damar Hamlin's booster shot beat Ladies and Gentlemen. Congratulations, Stephanie Bradley. Your season is over, but you had a good run. Good job. Nothing to be ashamed of. Damar Hamlin's booster shot 115. Malcolm Rodriguez in the middle of my thighs puts Josh Crampton out of the suck bracket, but he's still in the main bracket. Hey, Derrick Henry, he looks like he wants to make out with you. 2 Curlies, 1 cup over Your Mother Likes My Defense, sending him out. But 2 Curlies, 1 cup. Austin O'Neill, congratulations, you're still alive. And then Suck It, that's Bracy Trudell, I believe. Beat Hanging It with Hernandez, who did have some in a lineup. Hurt So Good over the black hole. Last time I'll say that for a while. Jamar Chase, thanks to Jake Browning, doing unprecedented work last night. First undrafted player in history to throw over 300 yards and a touchdown in a game. This was tough. Scott Mukovitz, I think he was nominated for Owner of the Year. He didn't win that, and he didn't win this game, as Jamie Phelps / Trudell / whatever your last name is now. 95 over 87. Good game. Joel Bills puts Vic back in a box. 94.78 over 71.43. I don't do cocaine, just like the smell of it. 0 pass with his taco, 93 points. Chop It Off moves on past Velada. Very disappointed, didn't submit a lineup. Velada. Hernandez Hitman over Super Original, didn't submit a lineup. True Blue Wrecking Crew wins. Elevator Music losing to Kakambas. Kakambas ain't this kind of cuck shit. Not submitting a lineup. He is a man. He's 40. I don't know how old he is, actually. But 98.18 points over Elevator Music, who gets sent back to the bottom floor. And Bobby Wood, we enjoy having you in this league. Thank you, and thank you for recruiting people, by the way. We'll see you in the playoff challenge. Hit and Rugs, 93.52 points over Low Hanging Fruit. And then Sag Nasty's Notch over Top Notch is nice. Him and I don't was too busy flying to the actual Lions game. Sewer Bombs over Stafford's Bastards. And then this one here, which is not Game of the Week. Play with Mike Gitka versus the Clockwork Elves. Nobody submitted a lineup. So congratulations to both of you guys for being terrible. Lennon was in the process of submitting a lineup, but there was the infamous Fox Sports glitch at the zone, which prompted him to not be able to submit a lineup. But family or no family, you don't put a lineup in by 1 o'clock, you don't get a lineup. That's how it works, people. That's how it works. And, oh my goodness, why is my computer so bad? Anyway. Oh my. Oh my. Anyway, so here we go. Oh, here we go. This is it.
I'm a white guy, and I'm ready to kill.
Yeah, that's just weird. So there we are. That's your recap. We're going to go now to the playoff brackets, so we can take a look at where we're at. We're 13 minutes in. That's actually further than I thought it would be. Okay, now, so here we are, the Elite 8 of the MUSL bracket. This is big, folks. I haven't shaved. I look like an Amish woman, but still, this is it. This is where you're at. I don't know why my stuff lags so bad. Let me just take this. Take this out of here. Still haven't got a new computer, in case you can tell, but I did go buy a $600 printer because I needed a $4 print job, and Office Max said they're not going to do it via email anymore, so I stuck it to them. I did not buy the printer from Office Max either, by the way, in case you're wondering. But anyway. Oh. Here we go, the Elite 8. This is important to know, because if you win this week, these teams will get a guaranteed minimum 50 extra bucks in their accounts. Everyone's been paid their winnings for the conference, but now we're talking real money coming. Anyone who wins this game gets into the Final Four. The Final Four gets a guaranteed minimum $50 extra, and then there's a third place game to get extra money, and then obviously the second and first place game gets a lot of extra money. So we're going to start it off with the Apache Chiefs coming up. There it is. The Apache Chiefs. They have taken care of business. They put up 110 points this week. Find themselves in what could have been the most epic rivalry rematch ever. If Love Story, Jordan's version, would have beaten Rob Jazerski, it would have been the Apache Chiefs versus Love Story for like the 4th time in the playoffs, I believe, and the 2nd time in 3 weeks. But no! Better Bring Your A-Game brought the A-Game, sends Love Story packing, working on the next Taylor's version. Better Bring Your A-Game versus the Apache Chiefs, a huge game. Better Bring Your A-Game kind of backed into the playoffs. We've said that. He did not have the greatest end of the season, but he beat all the players he needed to win to get to where he is. He's here now, and that's all that matters. That's all that matters. So, winner of that gets $50. Then we have, this is even bigger, folks. This is huge because we have the former champion, Puka Nakua Matata, who was the #1 in the nation at some point this year, taking on the Hitman. This is the game of the year, folks. One of these teams will go on to the Final Four. One of them will be eliminated. The rest of the league loves this fact because both these teams should be in the finals, but this is it. The Elite Eight is when they draw, and the Hitman music is so fucking long I can't take it. But still, here we go. Hitman, Rob Shaw, Louis Diana. This is it, folks. This could be your Muscle Championship in an alternate universe, but nevertheless, it's this universe. So one of these guys is going to go home with 0 extra money, which is sad. And why is it sad? Because the next game features Bleeding Blue Bombers and Just Here So I Don't Get Fired. No, I'm just kidding. That is mean. No, these guys both deserve to be here, believe me, but a lot of hype in that last game. Paul Wallenwine, let's talk about him for a minute. He won his conference this year. He won the Suck Bracket last year. This guy, even though he was not in the Muscle Bracket, winning the Suck Bracket is technically more impressive than winning the Muscle Bracket because you have 2 extra weeks of playing, I believe. Well, maybe 2, at least 1. There are more teams. So, Paul Wallenwine has a great pedigree in this league, even though it was in the other bracket. He's only been in the league 3 years, I think. He won one. He's in the Elite Eight this year. I don't remember the first year. Maybe the first year was his last year. But anyway, Pat Provost Sr. Gotta keep the family tradition alive. Someone from the Provost family is usually in it towards the end, including the infamous, Cale Seagraves won the Danny Lane Award a few years ago because he allowed a late lineup to be submitted to a provost, and that provost actually beat him because of that, which was terrible, but hey, he's a good dude. That's all I'm saying. Provost's okay too. But this isn't even the same provost, but this is senior Bleeding Blue Bombers going up against Just Here So I Don't Get Fined here in the Elite Eight. And then the final game is Josh Crampton's Tallywhackers taking on Kyle Stoker. And, I'll tell you, point blank, don't get me wrong, okay? Don't get me wrong, all these teams deserve to be here. But, when you're talking about the south side of the bracket here, you got to think that it's a little bit easier. So I would much rather be on this side of the bracket than the north side, because the north side you've got Apache Chiefs, Hitman, and Puka Nakua, and of course, Better Bring Your A-Game, not to discredit them at all, okay? They've made it here. They backed into the playoffs, which could be a good thing, because maybe the reason they were 7-4 during the regular year was because they have a lot of players left, which could be a big problem for people going forward. But going on the other end here, we have Paul, we have Provost, we have Josh Crampton, we have Kyle Stoker. These guys are no slouches either. They're no slouches. They're going to beat each other up, okay? They made it here. Well, Tallywhackers made it in on points, but still, everyone else made it in on record. It's going to be great. This is, I would say, in terms of owners and, build up around the season and who did what throughout what, and just the people that are on here. The Farmers not being in the Elite Eight is kind of a buzzkill, yes. Bonnie Monahan not being in the Elite Eight is kind of a buzzkill, yes. But this is definitely, from what I can remember, probably the best Elite Eight setup that we've had, especially that top half of the bracket, because man, it's going to be good. Bottom half, you have a easier shot because the top half are just powerhouses every year, and they're going to knock each other out. So personally, I would much rather be where Stoker and Crampton and Provost and Wallenwine are than on that other half of the bracket. But nevertheless, here we go. We're going to go to the terrible 32 now, which I think is what we're calling this. I want to talk about this real quick. Squadro's taking on Will Green. Joe Bills taking on Corey Brewer. Kakamba's Jeremy Orr, after his 98-point performance, taking on the 93-point performances of Mason Bradley, who I believe is the last Bradley alive here in this thing. Sewer Bombs taking on, that's Craig Kissel taking on Ben Miller. Joe Buck Yourself, Jordan Craig, listen up. You do not have to, Jordan Craig, you do have to submit a lineup, okay? You get an automatic win here, essentially, but you do have to submit a lineup. If you get randomized, it'll count as a 0. So just put in someone. Just don't put in like someone who's really bad who could actually score you negative points, because you would actually lose to a tie. You put in a fucking defense and a bunch of third stringers, and you get a defense that allows negative points, which I don't think is even possible. That would be bad. As someone who didn't submit a lineup beat you. I doubt that's happening. But anyway, Gary King's still alive, taking on Andy Plum. Then we have Corey Brewer, who just put up 111, taking on my Balzac Ertz. Don Knapp, who's coming off a basic bye, but still put up 92 points. Then, of course, Steve Garrity taking on James St. Germain. That'll be a good game. Garrity's former team name, it was based off some Patriot, I can't remember, so he'll appreciate that. The Mad Scientist taking on BVC. Nick Harris taking on Paul Ward. We got Jordan Cromwell taking on Dustin Hanson. We have Austin Pollard, who again submits somebody. Start somebody just to get a couple points is all you need. You don't need to waste good players. Then we have Cassandra Seagraves taking the last of the Seagraves in the list. Well, Neil Seagraves, I guess. And Cale Seagraves, obviously, in the Final Four. But last of my family here, taking on Austin O'Neill. Then we've got Bracy Trudell taking on Parker Dalton. Jamie Phelps taking on Dom Valenti. That'll be a good game. And then finally, Pat Provost regular taking on Antoine Bacon in the, I believe that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Okay, so that is the terrible 32 as we're calling it. So there's 2 extra weeks of this, so I was right. Actually, technically, maybe even 3 extra weeks. What the fuck week does this go to? This goes to week 18, whereas we go to week 16. All right, so that's that. Terrible 32 is set. The Danny Lade Award winner is none other than, I don't know why this is on here, I'm sorry. Hey, Blood Bash is coming, folks. Cale Seagraves, he won 2 things this weekend. He won the Danny Lane Award winner. There he is, Cale Seagraves and Kendra. And then he also won a high deductible after his son crashed his car. Everyone's okay, but still not great on that front. But he did win. I don't know why I'm on his Facebook page, but nevertheless, Danny Lane Award. It's 2-time winner for that. Now, only person who's ever won it 2 times is Cale Seagraves. He's a hell of a guy. Was #1 overall seed. Even when he didn't need to submit a lineup because he has pride. Probably might cost him in the end, but nevertheless. And then Super Squares. I don't have them pulled up, but finally, the square that we thought could be broken, if you will, which is the field and the field, because they have a major advantage in the low points categories. They have not won anything yet, but finally, thanks to the ineptitude of Atlanta Falcons and New England Patriots collectively, they collectively put up like 220 yards, which means that Nick Harris is the winner for the Super Squares this year. This is a great-looking family, isn't it? I'll tell you what. Look at these people. Look at these people. They're all here. Several of these people have been in this league, by the way. And this is the culprit right here. Yes, this is an old photo. This kid apparently may or may not have ran into a ditch in their neighborhood this week. So he's good, though. Everyone's good. So anyway, 24 minutes and counting. We'll have a good day. No Lions at the Zone this week because I have a family Christmas party. Boom. Wait, where's it at? I got to get at least one of these in. No family Christmas party, no Lions this week, which means finally. All right, have a good day. I'm out.